For your assignment for a white on black sphere, you are going to need to do a couple of things to achieve something that looks like this. So what you're going to do is you're each going to get I believe this is 6x9 rectangle piece of paper, a grayscale, and you're going to take the glue stick and you're going to glue it at the top of your paper, like so. Then you'll have a template, and it's a 5x5 square. With the template, I go ahead and just create a line that's about the same as that line there. Try to look at the width of it just to kind of keep it as close as you can. It will help you. And with a white pencil, you're going to go ahead, separate that line, to create your cubes, your squares, they're squares right now, that are similar size. And then you're going to go ahead and take that square and you're going to make a outline shape of the square. The next step I'd like you to do is to take a piece of tape, a roll of tape, and you're going to use the inside spot to create that circle. One thing to consider is part of that circle is going to be a shadow. So rather than pushing down really hard on that, you're just going to take that very lightly, make your circle for your sphere. The next step is to try to go ahead and match those values from your value scale. The best way to use this, and the way I started, was to start at the beginning, and what I like to do is make little circles. Very similar to the last project, rather than going dark really fast, and we're not really going dark, we're actually reversing that. So rather than making it light really fast, you build that value in, and that's going to help you as you go through your scale. So I'm going to go ahead and press down and continue to work on my scale. So as I put more pressure on and more circular motion, what you'll see is that I avoid those lines that I don't want, those unpleasant lines. And again, just continuing to go. Now this is a Crayola white pencil. I find that Prisma, and that's a Crayola as well, there's a difference with these. The Prismacolor whites are going to be way better. I would sharpen them so that you have a nice tip, because even just looking at the difference between those two whites, there's a difference. So by pushing down even harder with this Prismacolor white, I get a better quality. And those will be coming through today because Faith picked those up today for us. So once you get that square done, then you can move on to the next. And I'm going to do a little speed time lapse. When you get to the sphere, you're going to get a little sphere to look at. This is a circle, this is a sphere. A circle is a shape and it's flat. A sphere is three-dimensional and it has form. It's not three-dimensional in terms of actual width, but what it does have is the shading, and that's what you're trying to do, is to achieve that shading in the proper way so that you have those highlights and shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with those highlights at first, and if you notice, I'm going in a circle. Your goal is to match those values from here to here. So starting off, creating the highlights as bright as you can get them in that highlighted spot, because part of that sphere has those elements of light. And so by going in and matching those values, you are going to have something that resembles something like this that will have that three-dimensional value. Do not rush this. This is not a race. I am going to be very particular about grading these. You want to match your values as close as you can. You will also be taking that template, and you don't have to do a diagonal line like this. I mean, you could change it however you want, but what you're going to do is create a line so that you have a ground. And then you can eventually also, and this will be important because of the way the shadow is, you will go ahead and create that shadow as well. And we'll talk about different ways to alter your negative space. But your goal will be to match those values as close as you can so you have a three-dimensional form. You will be getting a rubric that you're going to grade yourself as well. So make sure that you look at this so that you can reflect on, actually I think I'm going to grade you guys on this. You guys can, I'll give you a copy of this so you can look at it, but it's very important that you look at how you'll be assessed for this assignment. Good luck.